against this loaded Texas lineup. The Longhorns hitting right around 400 as a team. And Alyssa Washington, the first captain in Texas softball history, coming off a crazy power weekend against Houston. Horns took 2 of 3. They dropped the opener at Houston, the new Big 12 rival, at least for a year before Texas heads to the SEC. LSU is sweeping Kentucky. And here we go on a Tuesday morning with ball 1 from Sydney Berzon to the freshman Caden Henry. And at 11:03 local on this Tuesday afternoon, March the 12th, we are underway from Baton Rouge. It is a ridiculous freshman class for Texas, top line by Henry. 5'5" freshman from Dickinson, Texas, who was 6 for 13, 2 homers, 4 steals, and a walk over the weekend. Little dribbler here. That ball deadens right in front of third, and Henry easily beats it out.
Softball athletes, and Mia Scott is up there.
Scott with a ground ball right back to Berzon. There's one. Pleasance with that hammer down to first. It's not in time.
And this is when speed pays off every other pitch.
On a 2-2, that ground ball down to Gutierrez at first. And this time the Tigers turn 2. One of the best infields in the country gets a double play. We'll see Briggs, Newland, and Pleasance to bat when we come up. Well, for a team dominated by freshmen, it is a freshman who gets the ball for Texas, Tegan Cavan, whose career is off to a breathtaking start.
And she'll throw a rise ball on multiple different levels mixed in with that changeup. Those 2 pitches are the pitches that she relies on the most. And Mike White wanted to bring her in because of the different look up in the zone that she brings to the pitching staff that returns quite a lot of familiar faces from last year. But this face was not here, and she has made an immediate impact on the Texas pitching staff and led to their wonderful record so far.
She's a little better against lefties than some of the other Texas pitchers. That's why she gets to start, because you can see the letter L all over this LSU lineup. 7 of the 9 left-handed, including Taylor Pleasance, the all-world shortstop, batting in the 3 spot. That's Arena's Tigers with
Sheer.
That ball slapped to shortstop. A tough play here and not in time from Vivi Martin. Lead the Tigers. That ball drilled down the line and left and caught by a sliding Bella Dayton. Well, if Texas has a weakness, it's in the field. But Bella Dayton,
like, it just isn't going to be a game of chess. I would want to early in the game because they're so used to seeing outside over and over and over again. I'd want to show them something different early in the game and make them uncomfortable versus going up and anticipating that they're going to get outside. So I'd want to often.
And she did it again.
Yep.
Up and in, drilled her. Pleasance is hit by a pitch for the 5th time this season. So a wild pitch and a hit by a pitch. And 2 on for LSU with 1 out.
Oh, right there on her. Taking that job.
That ball smacked up the middle and through for Gutierrez. A base hit to score 1. Bobbled in center by Henry. Pleasance will hold at third. Raylene Gutierrez into second. And LSU strikes first.
Out on Saturday and Sunday, a lot of defensive mistakes, some mental mistakes, gave up a lot of runs, looking to rebound and just altogether play a better game here today.
Bases loaded and Carly Penny is drilled. Mike White was hoping for his team to avoid. And Lynch with a chance to explode this game open. Splits the gap in left center field to do just that. 2 runs are in. Penny chugging to the plate and in standing. Tight is as hot as anybody on the LSU roster. And she's hitting 9th. Daniels slaps one to Martinez at short. And Texas's 2 losses this season, the opposing team scored first.
Which I think is worth mentioning.
On the ground to short from Maurice Atwood. Sydney Berzon, after fate in consideration to be the #1 team in the country. It's been a minute for Beth Serena's group. Another ground ball to short. Pleasance on the backhand. A laser to first is in time to get Jolie Mitchell.
This year.
Ground ball to second base. Petty with a glove flip to Pleasance.
Keeps her feet still. Defenders are looking at her feet, and they're looking at her hands.
There's the bunt, and there's an out at first base.
Trying to take another look. This is the new ace in the hole for coaches. Let's see. So I think that's right on time. I don't think that this will be overturned. So the ball has to leave the hand of the pitcher before your foot can leave the base. And I don't see this being overturned. Great lead. And the tricky part about this rule, and honestly what I don't like about being able to challenge,
because that might happen dozens of times a game. 3-2, and a ground ball down to first. It skips away from Mitchell. Takes a bad hop into right field, and Briggs is going to slide in and score. A rocket down the line. It's a base hit for Allie Newland that ate up Jolie Mitchell, and LSU's put up a half double.
When they want to use that.
Off the end of the bat to short from Gutierrez. Martinez gets one, and Washington two. So a little Texas two-step on the infield. LSU. Here's a sport where the Pac-12 has been the most historically great conference of any. Up the middle, that ball will sneak through. There's a base hit for Aston Maloney to lead off the third inning for Texas. This might not come to LSU for 4 or 5 years.
Yes.
Right side, base hit, Bella Dayton. And this is what Texas can do. Maloney and Dayton in the bottom two spots in the lineup reach base.
See how Berzon just picks, and her command is just so good to be able to move that pitch just a little bit off the plate and see if she can get a called strike.
That's a chopper from Scott. That is a fair ball, and that is big trouble for LSU. It will bring in two. Maloney and Dayton speeding in on a 2-run chop from Mia Scott to make this a 6-2 game with still nobody out.
Yeah, look at all these singles. Using the ground, Mia Scott just hits that drop ball hard into the ground, creates this hop over Sierra Daniel, who is pulled in, of course, because the bases are loaded. Would have probably been over her head regardless, but Texas scores two. And look at the bottom of the lineup, Ash Maloney started this rally. That class this year with another solid freshman class.
Stewart, a bouncing ball to short, and a rare boot by Pleasance. That is a Blue Moon sighting here in Baton Rouge. An error by Taylor Pleasance loads the bases again.
And look at how Caden Henry runs in front of her. They doesn't look like they make contact. Looks like maybe the umpires are going to talk about it, or Beth Torina going to review this play potentially to see if there was runner
interference.
interference.
The call on the field is that there was no interference by the runner. LSU is challenging the call on the field. We're under further review.
Here's Reese Out with a tying run. And Atwood strokes one into left field. Right at the left fielder, Newland, who makes the catch, comes up firing to the plate. It's not in time. A really good jump there for Caden Henry. A great catch by Newland to save another run, but Texas gets a sac fly from Atwood to make it 6-3.
Well, this is almost another mental mistake by Caden Henry. Look at her get this lead. She took a couple of steps towards the plate, then came back and tagged, and it's only because she is so fast that she was able to tag and still get home, but she's hearing it from her associate head coach, Steve Singleton. On this play, there's no reason to try to hustle forward toward home. You've got to see if she's going to...
Out on the runner, Stewart at second. First and third, two down, Alyssa Washington. And a ground ball to short, and that is the way that's supposed to go. All right. Well, that was something. Texas gets 3. We'll talk to their head coach when we come back.
That was nice.
In the air left side from Rudity. Cleaned up by Bella Dayton. Collins, local legends. Down to third. That's a hot shot picked up by Scott. Well played by Mia Scott to take out May. 2-2 for Lynch. Right back to check. First scoreless inning twirled by a Texas pitcher today. Estelle Check does it. Longhorns had the last 3. They'll bat when we return. 2 innings. Through 30 in the third, Texas put across 3 runs, 4 hits, an error. Got the Longhorns right back into the game in this matchup of 2 and 3 in the country. There's a base hit right back through the box for Martinez. And the leadoff runner on for the 3rd time today for Texas.
And Berzon has really great
side. Into left field, this is easy for Allie Newland. First strikeout today. Mia Scott left side off the glove of Pleasance and sitting in left field. Another run across for Texas. Martinez is in and Dayton to third on a ball that the 6-foot Pleasance could not reel in. It's 6-4.
I'm surprised she didn't get this. Right there, looked like it was in her glove, just bounces off, and no, that's a play that she wants back. That's a play that she can make.
Not sure she had to jump as high as she thought she did. Stewart's grounded into a double play and reached on an error against Pleasance. Dayton and Scott down at the corners with 1 out. And a ground ball to third. The play is made at first, and that will be that. The 3rd out of the inning makes it a 6th in the country as of March the 12th. Sierra Daniels slugs one into right field. Well struck by Daniel and off the glove of the right fielder Maloney. Daniel racing to third base, and she will stop right there. A leadoff triple out of the 9 spot for Daniel. And now the Texas training staff is going to check on Ashton Maloney in right center field.
Hoping she's okay. The freshman crushed this ball right in between Maloney and Henry, and both of them going hard for it, wanting to make the...
We've seen the bunt for a hit. And now we see a fly ball to left. That should be enough for Briggs. Dayton will wind up to the plate. It's not nearly in time. Sierra Briggs elevating when the moment calls for it. Her sacrifice fly makes it 7-4.
Just has such good barrel control. Whatever is needed in the situation, that's what Sierra Briggs can step up and do. A run that felt like LSU desperately needed to get back on the board and counter back.
7th pitch to her here, 3-2. And a ground ball to the right side, eaten up by Washington. LSU gets one back. The triple by Daniel, the sac fly by Briggs at 7-4. Here in about not even half the plate appearances of a season ago. And she chases strike 3 here in the dirt. Bergeron completes the play at first, and Sydney Berzon has her 2nd strikeout. And 1 for 2 today. Mitchell with a bouncing ball to short, and Pleasance makes the play cleanly.
Notice this about Sydney Berzon is that Beth Trina
Till this year, and there's the C on the chest of Alyssa Washington, who puts one in the air to right field, and Rudity has the 3rd out. First perfect inning of the game for Berzon. We'll go bottom 5 times. And she strikes out the first batter she faces here. Mackenzie Rudity down swinging. Texas has pitchers that could do everything.
be a competitor.
It's a bouncing ball over the third baseman, Scott. Martinez from deep in the hole at short will make the play brilliantly.
That's why Texas's defense is just so tough to figure out, because they will make mistakes, but then they'll make plays like this. I mean, Mia Scott actually almost jumped up and grabbed that, but then Vivi Martinez had her back, got on the shorts on the short hop, and she's falling toward the third base bag. I mean, not too many errors, mistakes.
Another play it short for Martinez. Easy pickings here in a 1-2-3 inning for Matt Morgan. First 1-2-3 inning for each team in the fifth.
And that was the greatest moment in Mic'd Up Monday history.
That's right. That's it. 2-2. That is called strike three right around the outside corner to Martinez. And the third strikeout, all the third time through the order for Berzon.
And all the leadoff hitter. Look at Bergeron work so hard to get this pitch a called strike. That might have been even a little bit off the plate. Martinez takes it.
Extras all-star, a sophomore for LSU. She won't get to this one. It's chopped down to third, and Sierra Daniel makes the play from third base to get Ashton Maloney. The SEC Now crew will be at Bridgestone Arena in Nashville for the SEC Men's Tournament starting tomorrow with pregame. Looks the part right there as Berzon jumps ahead of Dayton 1-2.
Yeah, she's a star and has filled into that spot offensively, putting up big numbers too.
The 100th pitch of the game is lined right to her. Welcome to the... Sierra Daniel with a bouncing ball to Martinez. 2 down. She said this team is filled with card players. Every time you come to the hotel.
Getting the respect just yet.
That ball smoked on a hop to Washington. 3 more groundouts for Morgan. So the top of the Texas lineup awaits us. LSU looking to make it 23 in a row. Freshman All-American pitcher in 8 years. And in her sophomore year, she's 2 outs away from taking down the number 3 team. Henry retired on a ground ball to Carly Petty. But Mia's back in and on a 3-2. 2 singles, 3 ribbies for Scott today. And Scott goes down swinging. Just the 3rd time anybody has struck out Mia Scott this year. Sydney Berzon is heating up as the game's coming to a close.
And then she's able to move the ball up in the zone with her rise. She's mainly been more down with her drop and her curve and her off-speed pitch, but being able to give that different look late in the game is what struck out Mia Scott, which just rarely happens.
Katie Stewart on the ground is short. In the hole, Pleasance from the outfield grass. It is in time. A breathtaking play by Taylor Pleasance, ending a breathtaking morning into afternoon of softball for a breathtaking group of Tigers. LSU is 23-0 after a 7-4 win in this top 3 showdown.
This play is so special by Taylor Pleasance. The body control that she has to slow her body down enough to gain control of her core to make this play and make this throw across the diamond and put it on a mark that Raylene Gutierrez can finish it off is just incredibly special. Berzon pitched well. She did give up those 4 runs, but LSU's defense and just the way that they play as a team is definitely something to watch as this year goes on. Their senior leadership